Hey everybody, happy Friday. Danny Shay out of his bathrobe. That's wrong, isn't it? I mean, you click on bathrobe tarot and no bathrobe. It's kind of like expecting the government to perform like the government. Backwards world. All right, we got some things to talk about. So normally on Fridays, I revisit the week and see, pull out some newsworthy things. But before I get into that, thank you guys for watching and subscribing and liking and all that jazz. Thank you for your suggestions on who to put in the box. So many of you know I put Mr. Pumpkinhead in the box because I just thought he was irrelevant and I was tired of talking to him. Shipped him off to Georgia. Fonnie Willis shipped him back to me, goes, we don't want him yet. Not yet. So, how much I understand. I did put MTG and Bobert in the box. They're all fighting and scratching each other. And I got more to put in, but I need a bigger box. So, I'm going to get that. I'm going to go in the garage and pull me out a big box. So, let's look into a couple of things. We have the government shutdown looming. Crazy. We have strikes. We had the Department of Justice on trial, so it seemed like. Three things with the Department of Justice. We had Merrick Garland talking to the rational leader of the whatever House investigative unit, Jim Jordan. He is such a calm, rational, you just fill in the blank. Gave me a bad taste in my mouth. What else? Nora Danley, she is in Connecticut, and she is being confirmed for the Connecticut Supreme Court. She worked for Bill Barr in the DOJ, and she resigned in 2020 when she goes, you're interjecting politics into the DOJ during the presidential election. Not comfortable with it. She's been in the DOJ for, she's a career person in the DOJ. And she goes, this is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. So she resigned. And she's now starting to talk about it during her during her state Senate confirmation hearing. I understand how the DOJ career officials don't talk about politics in the DOJ. To a certain point, 3 years. And then you have all these Republicans not talking about what that administration was like. The military, for example, that's another one where I can see that. But come on now. Our democracy's at stake. People need to know. People need to hear. I'm dying to hear, although I won't go, to hear what Fox News, how they're spinning this shutdown. It's all a clown show on the Republican side. How are they spinning it? I'm sure they are. And then we get to talk about Fox News with Rupert Murdoch leaving and his son taking over, and his son is, I've heard, could be more conservative. I did a reading on it yesterday just for me, and I got some crazy cards. I got that this was not going to be as conservative as it was last year. And I think it's because of all the lawsuits. They're just losing too much money. And they're going to continue to lose too much money with Dominion, with And then you had the whole New York and Oregon pension funds suing Fox. So I think that's going to kind of shape things up. Whether you're a conservative voice, all depends on money. So if you're going to be losing money by having a conservative voice, I don't think your voice is going to be that loud. But if you're making a whole bunch of money, hand over fist, then you can be as crazy as you want, thinking you're never going to be touched. Until Smartmatic. Almost $1 billion, 780, whatever. I think I talked about that before. So yeah, DOJ on trial with Garland, and then you have Danilbury, and then you have Menendez. This is a New Jersey senator, a senator from New Jersey. He's a Democrat, and he's been charged with a whole bunch of things about aiding Egypt, I think, and he's head of the Foreign Relations Committee, or he's on part of that anyway. And he's been looked at for like a couple of years with the DOJ, so that's coming up. And how does the Republicans spin that? Oh, the DOJ is only after Republicans. Well, no, we're also looking at Democrats too. They are. I'm not part of the DOJ. Not part of it. Okay. Oh, and then, of course, we got to look at the hillbilly flamethrower. Woohoo! All right. Let's look at the government shutdown. What is the real reason for the shutdown? Is it Matt Gaetz? Is it just a handful of these far-right guys? Or is it something a little darker money? The Leonard Leos of this, the Harlan Crows, or all the other big donors. Is there something deeper than just we got to get our spending under control? I know how we can get our spending under control. Cut your salaries, for one. Or some of the military budget. That F-35 can't seem to fly in storms. I just read that today. Really? We have the most advanced military fighter on the planet, even though it is, I think, like 30 years old. I think that's what I read. Who knows? But it's an $80 million plane, and that program takes 1-point-something trillion to maintain. And it can't fly into a thunderstorm. Really? So the guy ejects. There's some news on it where the 911 call. So the guy ejected and then called 911. Called 911? Wouldn't you call your commander? Your air towers? You call 911? And it was in North Carolina? Was it near the beach? Maybe he got, Harbor Patrol to come out there. Whole thing doesn't make any sense. Okay, government shutdown. What's going on with this? Who's behind it? Who is behind the government shutdown? Well, who's behind the government shutdown? Cool. Yikes. King of Swords. Who's behind the government shutdown? The King of Swords. Yikes. Knight of Swords. 5 of Wands. Okay. A lot of bickering, a lot of fighting. Riding in as a winner. I'm not getting not getting who's behind it as much as a lot of loss. It feels like somebody, and it's a king, so it's somebody big in this whole situation. Let me drop this down. You can see what I'm looking at there. There we go. So we have the King of Swords, Knight of Swords. So this King of Swords, whoever this king energy is, that is trying to slice and dice the U.S. government, but it's being covered by the Knight of Swords, somebody coming in really fast, younger energy. So is that Republicans and this Democrats? I don't know, but it feels like, and maybe this is both of them coming in to disrupt everything about the government. We got Five of Wands, Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles. A lot of conflict. A lot of conflict. Lonely. Being in a little gilded cage. Yeah, I'm not sure who it is. The feeling that I'm getting is that, you know, they're in disarray. They got a lot of fives in there, and they're trying to just create chaos. That's what I'm getting. Creating chaos. Let's see. Can we try this again? Who is... Do we... I just heard, don't say any, don't pull on it anymore. Okay. Will the Democrats offer a solution? Will the Democrats offer a solution? And then the next question is, will the Republicans accept it? Well, let's read it first this way. I'm going to switch decks. Will the Republicans come up with a solution for this crisis that we're heading into? Will the Republicans come up with a solution to solve this crisis? Will the Republicans in the House come up with a solution? Ooh, positive. Chariot. Well, one card does not make a reading. Worry. Oh. Ten of Cups. My Democratic card is at the base. Two of Wands in the past. There is a plan. They're kind of looking at something. But in this card, it feels like a daydream. Not moving. Page of Cups, he's moving. Listening to unexpected news a little bit. Yeah. Are the Republicans going to come up with something? No. That's a retreat card. That's a retreat card. So they're listening to these crazy ideas coming out of, messages coming out of a cup that look like a fish. I mean, to me, that's good messages. I like talking to fish. They're just in such disarray. They're not listening to the right thing. Will the Democrats, switching back to this card, will the Democrats offer a solution that the Republicans will grab hold of? Will the Democrats offer a solution? Look at that. Knight of Cups. Wild ride. Being challenged by the Four of Swords. Is this the Four of Swords in the other deck that was at the potential near future? So they're seeing this. I think it's true. We have the Ten of Swords. At the base of the reading, this guy is walking away. So they're not being stabbed in the back, but someone stabbed all these swords into the foundation, into the earth. And this guy is walking away from it. Justice, the burden of Ten of Wands, and the Four of Cups. The offer that's not being looked at. The offer that's not being looked at. The Democrats will present an offer, but the Republicans aren't going to look at it. The Republicans are stabbing us, and the Democrats are not part of it so much. They're walking away from it. But I wish they would take some swords out of the ground on their way out instead of just leaving them in there. Let's take a look at, and by that I mean that this government shutdown is not going to help us, the people. The government is to serve the people, and we're getting screwed. We're getting stabbed in the back. And our elected leaders are walking away from it, in my opinion. So, let's look at consumer confidence. Let's project this out. Consumer confidence in 2 weeks. That means we'll be a week into it. Consumer confidence. Consumer confidence in 2 weeks. Huh? Look at that. Wild ride. Oh, hey, I shuffled these. Okay. Obviously, I didn't really shuffle them correctly. Okay. Sorry. 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I just heard Psychic Duck just told me. What'd you say? And 1 to grow on. 1 to grow on. All right. This is it. 1 to grow on. Okay. Here we go. First card. Ooh, the wish card. 9 of Cups. Good. How are we feeling? Consumer confidence. Pretty good. Not bad. Can't complain. Knave of Chalices. Her feet are in the water. Calming energy. Cleansing. Listening to unexpected news. At the base of the reading is a harsh truth, the sword of truth. In the past, as it relates, is the Fool card. So far, me liking, are we on the foolish, well, I don't know. Are we on the journey? Were we a fool and now we're not a fool anymore? Maybe we learned our lesson at the top of the reading, this looks good, is the Empress. The Empress giving birth to something new, a new idea, a new comfort, a new... It's kind of like the Queen of Pentacles in a way where she's got everything. It's all there. And the final outcome is, oh, Three of Wands. Let's think about this a little more. Everything's there. Everything's there. But in the potential near future, we're paused. What's the one to grow on? Psychic duck. That's not growth. That's Five of Pentacles. That's being left out in the cold. That's loss. Everything is there. Everything is there to fix this. But there's stagnation. Well, let's think about it this way. Let's look at that. Let's look at this. Let's do this. Let's listen to fish talking. That's Republicans still listening to the MAGAs, I think. And it's leaving us out in the cold. God dang. Okay. Oh, let me just ask. How much, if there is a government shutdown, how much pain from the government shutdown are we going to feel? I just got an image of Joe Biden just furious and going, fix this, get me something to sign. You already agreed, fix it. So the Senate's already got their plan. I mean, they're already approved from both sides on the appropriation bills that the Republicans are holding up. So Biden is pissed. Okay, what's going on? How much pain? 3 cards. How much pain from the government shutdown will we feel? Normal people. Slow moving night. Dang. A lot. Still the battle. But we have the slow moving night. Something coming to fruition, but it's slow. So it's not going to, it's going to hurt some people. I don't think it's going to hurt. Is it going to hurt? Let me just put these back in there. Is it going to hurt? Let me use this deck. Is it going to hurt Social Security, VA benefits? I mean, the House, they can't even approve veterans benefits, I think. The military spending. Who are these people? Okay. Are we still going to be able to keep our benefits, our government benefits, Social Security, Medicaid? I'm not even going to say. I'm just going to say, High Priestess, there's some secrets. We're upside down a little bit, and there's a little bit of loss. However, there are 2 full cups here. So we're going to feel this pain, but it's not like devastation, because we still have 2 cups left, but we have 3 that have spilled. So a lot of things are going to be turned upside down. Okay, so we'll just see how that plays out next week. You know, and it's crazy because if they go into default, I mean, if they shut down the government, then our credit rating is gonna be impacted, and that means interest rates are going to be impacted. That means the cost to get a mortgage, if you're in that position, impacted. Yeah, crazy. Oh, what? I need my sheet so I know what I'm reading on. DOJ on trial. Should we look at the strikes? No, I don't want to get into any more financial stuff. The DOJ on trial. So Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz, what an ass, peppering Merrick Garland and saying how they're weaponizing. The Department of Justice is weaponizing and being political machines for the Biden administration. All it is projection. That's all it is. Bill Barr, that's what he did, and that's what Nora Donnelly said. That's why she resigned. And then we have Menendez in New Jersey, the Democrat who was I think he's indicted now for being a foreign agent, getting a lot of money. Okay. So it's just not one side with this DOJ. I mean, they're looking into Hunter Biden. I know, I had to throw that out there because I'm going to go into hillbilly flamethrowers in a minute. They're looking at a Democratic senator from New Jersey, Menendez. Let's just take a look. Let's just look at that guy. 6 cards real quick. I feel he's in so much trouble. Psychic Duck is going, you don't know the half of it. Really? Okay. Psychic Duck. 5 cups. Yeah, he's in big trouble. Something new's coming his way. It's all about money. He's got the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords coming after him. He's feeling a lot of sorrow, and they're bringing forth new charges to him. But at the base of the reading, I got the 4 of Wands, a little celebration. Now, when I look at this could be a false celebration. So he thinks he may be able to get out of this. But look at the big house back there, behind there. There's no windows. It's a different kind of big house than he thinks he's living in. He's probably going to be living in a big house with no windows. Not the house I would build. I'd build one with lots of windows. Okay. I don't know, these days though, my windows have been closed. It's so smoky here. Oh, gosh. So we're getting smoke from the Oregon, Northern California fires, and it's coming down the coast out into the ocean, and then the winds are blowing it right into us. It's just like, and I've been feeling so tired. Oh, oy, oy, oy. All right, let's take a look at, what else are we going to look at? Let's just take a look at how the DOJ is dealing with the dogs of Congress. it's a nothing burger. They're not really dealing with it. They're just going, okay, time to go. Had to do that. It irritated him a little bit, Merrick Garland, that he even had to go there, is what I'm picking up. It's like, really? Just, oh, God. And then just, and he knew what he was walking into. He was walking into a buzzsaw that made no sense. And for someone who is logical, it's really hard to talk to an illogical person and try to counter illogic with sense, with logic. It's like you're talking crazy and you want me to address the crazy without sounding crazy? You sound crazy. So let's just look at that. How's the Department of Justice? Okay. They're balancing some things. I mean, clearly they're juggling a lot. That is clear. But how's morale? How is morale at the Department of Justice? How is morale? Because you had that one woman, she left, she resigned. I think she was 20 years in, something like that. Don't hold me to it. But she was a career, and she resigned. She goes, it was the hardest decision I've ever had to make. How is morale at the DOJ under Merrick Garland? 3 cards. Okay. It's not great. 4 swords. They're kind of taking a little break. They're kind of sick of this. Bipartisanship. But this is not the 2 of swords where it's one way or the other. This is more of a blending of things. A unification of ideas. Yeah, we have 2 different ideas, but under one globe, and it's expansive. I mean, it's huge what they're dealing with. And then we also got the 2 of Pentacles, which is juggling many things they have going. So it does feel, when I look at this card, it does feel like they are receiving higher source healing energy, because you got these light rays hitting this wounded warrioress. Okay. So thank you. So yeah, they're not doing that good. So send them some love. All right, let's look at, before I leave, Fox News. I read on this yesterday to myself. I hope I'm not repeating myself. I'm having a really hard time just starting the video and letting it run. I start the video and then I say something stupid. I go, I don't like the direction this is going in. And it's because of my squirrel moments. So I stop it and I start it again. So if I repeat myself, then I do. Fox News. So big news yesterday, not surprising, but it was big that Fox News, Murdoch is stepping down. His son, lock him up, is going to be taking over the media empire. And so I pulled a reading on Fox News, the Fox stations, and it did get a little broad because I thought of Fox Sports, Fox Business. So it was just the Fox television empire. And I got that it was going to turn around under this guy. But this guy Lackham, I mean, he's more in alignment with Tucker Carlson, reportedly. He's more conservative, reportedly. And I went, oh, is he going to bring back Carlson? I don't think so. I didn't read on it, but Psychic Duck says no. And the reason is because it's the money. They're losing too much money with Dominion, with Smartmatic coming up, with all these lawsuits, the New York, Oregon lawsuit that's coming up. They're losing too much money, so they have to play nice. But their other outlets could still spew stuff. And when you look at the other outlets, the New York Post, the Wall Street Journal, it's like big stuff. So, makes me question the Wall Street Journal. Well, is it even like, normally I thought business was just business, but I may be wrong. Let's look at Fox. Let's just look at Fox News under this new leadership. And what I'm getting is, I just saw a woman come into view. A woman with a red dress, whatever that means. Is there going to be a woman running Fox? What's going on? Fox News. Fox News. Next 6 months. How are we looking? I don't know. This deck, there's more cards to this deck than just this one. A lot of loss, a lot of sadness. And again, there's two houses. There's the big house with windows. It still looks like a prison though. Being crossed by legal issues. Yeah, of course. They're defending themselves with the Seven of Wands. It's going to cost them a lot of money. They're at a crossroads for sure. They're going to keep working hard at it. The hopes and fears are that stop the steal thing is going to go away. It's not. Let me drop it down. You guys can see. Okay, so with the Five of Cups of loss, sadness, and that the King of Swords maybe is stepping down. The King of Swords, maybe that is Rupert Murdoch. It's also legal issues. Here's more legal issues. So I'm thinking it's legal issues, but this could be, they're sad that he's stepping down. Somebody else is going to come in and take over. They're defending themselves with the Seven of Wands. And in the past, Queen of Pentacles, as it relates, is they're going to have to dig into their coffers to satisfy some of these King of Swords lawsuits. At the top of the reading is the Ace of Swords. There's new stuff coming too. New truth. New legal challenges. In the potential near future, they're at a crossroads. What do? I like this Seven of Swords energy that's in the hopes and fears next to this. They're at a crossroads. They got to figure out what's going on. They are going to be hard at work at courting. Is this their base? Something's going to happen really fast. It's going to cost them a lot of money. And then we have the King of Wands, the King of Information. So are they still going to be, it still feels like with all of this sorrow, with all of these legal things that come out, with all of this stuff that's going to cost them a ton of money, they are still going to be in a king position of giving information. That's what the king does. This King of Wands, he's giving out inspired information. Now, that's what the King of Wands does. I'm not saying that's what Fox News does. So let's just look at it again. Is Fox News still going to be, what's that King of Wands about with Fox News? Is that the new guy? What's that about? Ooh, walking away. King of Pentacles, money. That's Rupert Murdoch. He's walking away because he's just tired of the lawsuits. Illusion, delusion. The Knight of Cups. And because this is Lena's deck that I'm using, One World Tarot, she talks a lot about the Knight of Cups being the false knight. And so when I flipped this up, I went false knight. That's kind of what I'm getting with that. I mean, the guy doesn't even have a real horse. It's a carousel horse. Worry. What was that King of Wands? It feels like they're in too many battles. And the King of Wands gets reduced to the Page of Wands, to the Knight of Wands, to the Three of Wands, either watching a ship come in or watching a ship go out. At the base of the reading, working hard, Queen of Wands, Nine of Wands, moving on to calmer waters. I don't think that, so where I was getting with all those twos was they've got to keep their base. They've got to keep their base, but also they have to change directions or they're just going to keep losing money. It's a challenge. They're worried about it. And so they're just dialing down the rhetoric a lot. A lot. But they're still causing a lot of chaos with that Five of Swords, winning at any cost by sowing division and confusion. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to leave it there because I'm at 43. Before I leave, though, let's just throw one just to get a better taste in our brains. Psychic Duck, anything you have to say? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Well, get up here and say it. Okay. What do you want to say? Be good to each other. Okay. Thank you. He's very wise. He just said, be good to yourselves. This one fell out. Feast of plenty. Choices and their consequences. What are we choosing to think, listen to, have in our awareness, put into our crystal ball? What are we putting in our crystal ball? Whatever we do, that's our choice. And we're going to have to deal with the consequences. All right. Thank you for watching. Me and Psychic Duck say peace and love.